Hello, this is the garden update number 8 on June 28th, 2021. Here in the evening time, which seems to be better lighting for stuff. So we'll give this a go. You can see we've got a couple of good marigolds looking pretty right there. But that's not really our focus, is it now? Let's talk about some tomatoes. We've got some midnight snacks. I've actually eaten several of those this past week. They've started producing a little bit more, and they've been quite delicious. They have a nice tangy and yet sweet tangy yet sweet kind of flavor and beautiful color. So you can see those things are looking fantastic. And then behind there you can see, I think that's a San Marzano tomato, looking pretty tasty and red. It's about time to pick that. And then backing out here we've got some Norwood Meiners. The dogs come over here and steal these, so there's a lot that are missing, but up in there and on the back side there are some ripe ones that I can get. And then when you look up here, you got plenty to go, and they're pretty good sized dogs, but they're not tall enough to get up there. So and you can kind of see those midnight snacks are looking really good too. Let's get a better view on that. Alright, moving along, we're coming around here to the Pasilla peppers. I don't know if you can see those in there, but the ones at the bottom are looking pretty good. Those things are actually quite long, but I don't have any other peppers up top, so I don't know if that's something I'm doing or if it's just a matter of timing. But it's been true for a lot of the pepper plants. It seems like I've not been getting a lot of fruit set so far. This habanero, however, is looking pretty good, and there's a ton of pods in there. None of them are ripe yet, but I think those things take a long time anyway. When we come in here for the Atomic Sunset, those things are looking beautiful. Actually, I've plucked a couple of those already. Come on, focus. For some reason it's wanting to focus on the ground and not the tomato. But you can see the color on those. It's kind of a yellowish orange. And back there we've got the Veronas. And if you look back there, we've got a couple of the Norwood Meiners that are ripe. So here we have let's see, I think that's still the Atomic Sunset. And then we've got Craig's Grande Jalapeno, and then a mini pepper back there behind the Atomic Sunset. Coming around to the Super Chili, which is loaded down with peppers, and it has continued to produce plenty of flowers, but that thing is extremely productive. I'm very happy with that. And it sits in front of the Persuasion. You can see those things they just have a gorgeous texture. I mean, there's just a lot of beauty in those tomatoes, even green. None of them is even slightly turning yet, as far as I can tell, but that's okay. We'll get there eventually. You know, kind of in the back there, you can see those are the pink Oxheart tomatoes. Looks like there's cat facing on a lot of those. And then ones that are behind it, pretty sure that is the triple crop. And there's some more triple crops right there, kind of in the back. And then here we've got the Amethyst Jewel. And there's tons of those tomatoes as well. I think those are looking pretty good. And this is finally actually starting to put on some height, which is nice because I didn't realize how big that Poblano chili pepper is going to be. But check that out. That's a nice dark green Poblano. Pretty excited about that. And the plant itself is looking great. The thing is huge. Got some kind of bug right there. Doesn't appear to be eating anything though. But you can see there's like just literally no flowers there. So I'm going to fertilize today or tomorrow with a high phosphorus fertilizer, and we'll see if that brings out a little bit more bloom. So back behind here, yeah, I think that's another San Marzano plant right there. You can kind of look back and see that one, which I believe that's a atomic. No, that's the solar flare, I think. And then this is the Brad's atomic grape, and I have eaten several of those. In fact, those down there are looking nice and ripe, and actually I've eaten several of those and they were delicious. I was surprised at how good those are when they're fully blushed with a little bit of red. Oh my word, delicious. Let's see, here we've got some Cosmos tomatoes, which is another Brad Gates variety, and they're looking good. Plenty of production there. Plenty up in there. All the way to the top. These tomatoes are now all over 6 feet tall, except for the Amethyst Jewel, I think, and maybe the Cosmos. But this one's right at 6 feet tall. And then you get back here in the back and you've got all these sweet peppers, and you can see the fruit set is pretty good on those sweet peppers. The trellis fell down up here and it fell forward. It didn't really fall down, it just leaned forward, and when we had a storm, and it pushed all these peppers kind of out of this part of the, I don't know, the chicken wire or whatever, but hopefully that won't hurt things too much. But again, I knew I was over planning, and that's kind of where we're going to be. This Sun Gold tomato is putting on some fruit there, and there's tons back in there. I don't know if you can see that, but tons of unripe fruit. One that's getting a little color to it, and then here's another Sun Gold, and then this thing here, that's another monster tomato plant, and that's the Brad Gates blue boar berries tomato, and it's another cherry tomato. It's produced quite a few. I think I need to let them get a little riper because they're a little tart and not very sweet, but we'll keep working on that. Backing out here, we've got the sunflowers, and it looks like we have a little bugger right there. Look at that caterpillar. I do not know what that is, but he's huge. It's gotta be, I don't know, 2.5 inches long, but the flowers are starting to accumulate on these things. And if you look down here at the cone flowers, they're looking beautiful. Let the cilantro go to seed. Those cone flowers, I mean, that's a huge flower. I don't know if you can tell from this, but here's my foot. And that thing, I would say, maybe 5 inches across, that one flower. And this big Shasta daisy is looking beautiful, and look, it's going to bloom out here shortly. And look at all those buds. It's going to be beautiful. Got more cone flowers. Those dark magenta ones are pretty, and these paler pink ones also beautiful. Coming over here, we've got some shishito peppers. They're looking good. This thing is a trellising nightmare, and I don't know how I'm going to fix that. Tomatoes in grow bags, I'm not sure how that really, it just doesn't seem to work out well because the trellising is the problem. Maybe if I had more tomato cages like this, but that doesn't look like it's producing a whole lot. The dogs have been getting in there, but I don't know. Otherwise, if I didn't put it in there, it was going to die anyway. So jalapenos are doing well, although I will say several of those have had blossom end rot, which has been really disappointing. And so I've had to just throw them away. But there's so many that I'm kind of making up for it in volume, and my hope is that they'll keep producing, because you still have, you know, some flower production there. So again, these are all due for another fertilizer hit soon. These cowhorn peppers, you can see them in there. There's tons of them, still tons of flowers. Not as many as the super chilies though. But if we come around this way, you'll see the first sign of life on this blot pepper. Look at that. Looking quite nice. So looks like there's, I don't know, 2 or 3 of those peppers in there. And I think up here we've got a few more flowers. So it's just a matter of time. And then this thing here is another kind of bonus tomato plant, and it's looking pretty good. Now it's time to go around to the outside of the fence. Alright, coming up to the outside, I had to change the batteries out, but hopefully I didn't miss anything on that last segment. But anyway, you can see those Norwood Meiners there, looking nice and pretty. Kind of orangish now, but that one, this one right here, is fully ripe. That'll be a nice complete red on the inside. And if you look back from this angle, you can see, well, I don't know, I thought you could see the atomic sunset tomatoes, which are beautiful. Got some more of those Veronas there, which are getting bigger actually. When they started off, they were about kind of a large grape, and now they're more of the size of a small Roma tomato. Here are the Federles. You can see those there, but there's another one that's good size. I mean, you can kind of see, I mean, that's probably, I don't know, maybe 6 inches. And there's some pretty large tomatoes in there. Several other trusses, but some of these Verona trusses are kind of or not trusses, but limbs are moving over and taking over, but I don't mind. Here we've got some more. Those are the triple crops, I believe. And there's tons. I don't know if you can see that, but there are a ton of tomatoes in there. None of them are ripening yet, but that's all right. A little tall, higher, you can kind of see the pink Oxhearts. And I think there was some more flowering up above that. This here is the triple crop as well. So it has 2 stems, and so there's one right there. That thing is huge. I think that may be the biggest tomato I've got right now. These are the solar flares. They have a kind of a nice stripe pattern. Generally looking really good. And that plant is actually going crazy out here. There's tons of flowers looking good. Those are also silver flowers. This back here that's getting a little color to it is that's a carbon, I think. And there's another one back there that's getting a little color as well. And so I actually picked one of those the other day. I think that's a mystery tomato. I'm not sure what that is, but it's got some good color to it, and it's looking beautiful. So I don't know if it's going to turn red. If it's orange, I may let it go for a little while longer to see if it ripens more, because it started off pretty yellow, but it's kind of changing to a little bit of some unusual colors. These Brad's Atomic Grape tomatoes are looking great and tasting delicious. This one right here, I think it's fully ripe, and I'll probably come back and pick some of these off, but this one's pretty small. Well, I don't know, it might not be fully ripe because they've come right off in my hand when I've even slightly pulled at them before. So, and you can see that one there, how it compares in size with that Norwood Miner, but that other one is significantly smaller. But at any rate, there's quite a bit of tomato production from that plant, so I'm very pleased. Really couldn't be happier about it. And then over here we've got San Marzanos, and right here we have what looks like a ripe one. So pulled that one off, and there's plenty of other ripe ones in there. Well, not ripe ones, but getting a little color, let's put it that way. Looks like there's a sun gold that's ripe that I got to figure a way to get to. So alright, I think that's pretty much it for the tour. You can see the trellis. I try to use these 8-foot tomato stakes because they have metal cores, but you can see gravity is winning the battle, and I wouldn't be surprised if the duct tape fails, and if that happens I'll be pretty unhappy, but we'll see if I can do something to shore it up. Hope you'll have a good day. Enjoy the video. Please let me know what you think I need to change. Have a great day. Bye.